going on? Something feels slightly askew. It's 7:41. We thought it'd be a good idea to learn about the history of musical theatre, as we know and love it. So, to give us a brief history of such a thing, please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Jimi Mitchell.
Good morning, Zoe. So, it could easily be argued that the seed for the modern musical as we know and love it, or love to hate it, was sown back in 1728 in a ballad opera written by John Gay called The Beggar's Opera. It was a show for the masses that was different from what you would find in an opera house. Now, this idea was pushed further by Gilbert and Sullivan, best known for their light operettas such as The Mikado or The Pirates of Penzance, but it wasn't until Oscar Hammerstein and Richard Rodgers came together across the pond to create a piece of integrated storytelling called Oklahoma that we would see the power that musical theatre could have. Still suffering from the impacts of war, British musical writers such as Ivor Novello or Noel Coward were struggling to see the same success that was happening over in New York. Who would have guessed that it would be an orphan named Oliver that would stake our flag on Broadway in the early 60s? Oliver paved the way for the UK to be a serious part of the musical theatre conversation. While Broadway was basking in Bob Fosse and Stephen Sondheim, little did they know that on our little island we were preparing something that could change the face of musical theatre forever. Mr. Andrew Lloyd Webber. Now, after the huge success of his first musical, Jesus Christ Superstar, he really held the monopoly on musical theatre all the way into the early 90s with his hits such as The Phantom of the Opera, Evita and Cats. But wherever you find cats, you can be sure that a mouse is close by. Walt Disney Theatricals played a huge part in cleaning up Broadway and were ready to conquer the West End in the 90s with Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. But the thing that could hold a candle to the power of Mickey Mouse was the jukebox musical. Heralded by the musical theatre purists as the death knell of their art form, shows like Mamma Mia took the UK by storm whether they liked it or not. However, it was another orphan who would change the face of musical theatre once again in 2015. Alexander Hamilton and his eponymous hip-hop epic brushed aside the musical theatre naysayers and showed the world that this was a force of change for good. As we anxiously await our theatres reopening, we can only wonder what lies in store for the future of our beloved musical. Will we have socially distanced musicals such as Finn Anderson's Islander, or with the world's first TikTok musical premiering earlier this month, are we seeing our future composers being inspired to create from the comfort of their own bedroom? Who can say? But to quote the musical that started it all, I've got a wonderful feeling about the future of musical theatre.
Oh, Jimi, you are a joy. And Jimi is one half of Jim and Tomic's Musical Theatre Happy Hour podcast. If, ladies and gentlemen, you are loving this morning's show, I think you need to check it out, where he and his equally musical-obsessed friend Tommy pick apart our favourite stage shows every week. You can find their glorious podcast wherever you normally get yours, plus